This is a story of a woman often compared to Nelson Mandela as a freedom fighter and political prisoner. In her native land of Burma, also referred to as Myanmar, Aung San Suu Kyi is an icon of strength and courage, not just in her own country, but also for struggling democracies throughout the world. Suu Kyi was born in 1945 as the youngest daughter of the revolutionary Aung San, a man responsible for the independence of Burma from the British Empire. He is known as the father of Burma and was elected as the first prime minister. However, before taking office, he was assassinated by machine gun fire, and the military assumed total national control. At the time, Suu Kyi was just 2 years old. Suu Kyi would go on to live a very different life than her father. She studied in India and at Oxford. She worked at the United Nations in New York for several years and eventually married a British scholar and had 2 sons. After many years away from Burma, she returned when her mother suffered a stroke. While at her mother's side, she observed widespread demonstrations calling for democracy. The protest on August 8, 1988, is known as the 8888 Uprising and was violently suppressed. Suu Kyi spoke to hundreds of thousands of protesters in support of democracy in the capital city of Rangoon. Because of her family's legacy, she was extremely popular, and many looked to her to carry on the unfulfilled hopes that had been lost when her father was murdered. But the military, which still controlled the country, placed Suu Kyi under house arrest. They offered her freedom in exchange for exile, but she refused. In 1991, while under house arrest, she was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. Her sons accepted the honor on her behalf. Also while under house arrest, she received the Congressional Gold Medal from U.S. President George W. Bush. She would spend 15 out of 21 years in confinement, unable to see her family and friends or have access to the outside world. She was even denied a visit from her husband in his last days, dying from cancer. Aung San Suu Kyi has been free since 2010. She never wavered from her call for free and fair elections, and in 2015 the world watched as her party, the National League for Democracy, or NLD, won 378 of the 664 seats in parliament. She currently holds the position of state councillor. The military's constitution contains clauses written to specifically bar her from the presidency, and she is working to have the constitution rewritten. Recently, Suu Kyi has been criticized for her unwillingness to make the cruel treatment of the Rohingya people a major part of her platform. The Rohingya are an ethnic Muslim minority group that has been terrorized by the government and wants some amount to ethnic cleansing or genocide. While she states that she condemns all violence, Suu Kyi has not attempted to provoke a serious response to this crisis. It is a problem that must wait while the country survives an uneasy political transition. Burma, as she calls it, has been an isolated and impoverished nation that has endured more than half a century of military rule. Aung San Suu Kyi has worked her entire life sacrificing precious years with her family to fight for her people to enter an age of peace and choice. She has learned from past struggles, like Nelson Mandela's South Africa, that democracy cannot be rushed for it to last. She continues to be a global symbol for human rights. She has said that the only real prison is fear, and the only real freedom is the freedom from fear.